And now, words of wisdom with Adam Carriker.
No pressure, no diamonds. Robert Griffin III.
And with that, we welcome you to Fourth and Pain, the best pro wrestling show hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He is Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker. I am the weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. And Adam, I cannot think of a more appropriate words of wisdom to open the show.
Absolutely. I know those aren't my words. You know, those are Robert Griffin III's words, but they're not my words, but that's my quarterback. So I feel like it's okay if I borrow them. I think he'd be okay with it. He gave us all shirts with that printed on, so I feel like it's okay. And I feel it's very appropriate as well.
An exhilarating victory in Tampa Bay, 24-22 in the final seconds. Didn't think that the Redskins were going to come away with it, but we are going to dive into that in depth momentarily. But if you'll notice, hey, this is fresh Fourth and Pain, but wait, it's only Monday afternoon. Adam, what's going on?
Well, I have a little bit more time on my hands. I wish I didn't, but I do. So there's always silver linings to things. So as part of that, we do get to do a little bit more, with Fourth and Pain. So daily at noon, we are going to be posting 2 12-minute segments, 24 minutes total, Monday through Friday, 12 minutes of football, 12 minutes of wrestling. And we are going to be doing a little bit of Fourth and Pain every day. And we're going to be having some new segments. We're going to have an Ask Adam every Wednesday, which is basically you guys send us your questions. I will answer them. If you have anything you want to ask Chuck, ask Chuck. We're going to be talking some college football. Yes, we are broadening our horizons, ladies and gentlemen. Talking some college football. We're going to be giving our top fives at some point. We're going to be making our bold predictions. We think we know what we're talking about in the NFL. Why not expand and act like we know what we're talking about in college football as well? We're going to expand and talk a little SmackDown every week. We're going to talk a little TNA as well. We already have the Raw review every week. Now we're going to do a little Raw preview. And my favorite segment, we are going to have, he's going to remain anonymous at this point, but a celebrity guest come in every week, and we are going to pick 5 games every week from the NFL schedule, and we're going to have a guest doing that with us. My wife is going to be doing that, who does the paid and polls. You're going to do it, we're going to do it, and we're going to allow the fans to pick along with us as well. We're going to keep track of fourthandpain.com, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
That is going to be my new favorite segment.
I love it. And I'm very excited about this anonymous guest.
Trust me. You don't want to get in this guy's way because he just speared you in half.
I mean, we have outdone ourselves here.
He will literally jackhammer the crap out of you.
I know he will, but we're not going to reveal him until a little bit later on this week. But before we get into any of that, let's dive back into the Redskins. I know that this must have been difficult for you to watch at home. The guys go down to Tampa, nearly have disaster. Somehow, Billy Cundiff connects on his fourth attempt, his first actual successful attempt, wins the game with 3 seconds remaining. Redskins 24, Buccaneers 22. Adam, what do you take away from this?
Well, growing up, my dad would always say, the games are so much harder for me in the stands than they are for you. And I just used to look at him like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And sitting here at home, laying here at home, watching the game, I know exactly what he's talking about because I about broke my television 3 different times. And, it's like your heart's up, it's down, it's like it's a roller coaster. And at least in a game, I feel like I have some sort of control, I can help manipulate the outcome. Here, I'm just powerless, and that's just frustrating for me. But in the end, we get the win. Billy Cundiff makes the only kick that truly matters at the end of the day with the game on the line, all the marbles, and he makes the kick and we get the W. So big ups to him and big ups to the team for going. No, I will say this. One thing on Twitter kind of bothered me. Some people I tweeted out, this is a great win. And some people said it's not a great win. Here's what people have to understand. This isn't college football. It's not where Alabama and, USC and Oregon are light years better than the Louisiana Lafayettes or whatever of this world. The best team in the NFL is not that much better than the worst team. So anytime you go on the road and you get a win, it is a great win. And let me tell you this, every loss sucks equally because it's an L, and every win is great because it's a W. So this is a great win, and I'm proud of my guys. And Billy Cundiff, he came through when it mattered.
Right, and there's a word in the media that we use for what it was you were describing. It's called parity, and there's an awful lot of that in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And you just hit the nail on the head. The best team is not that much better than the worst team because everybody that's playing in the NFL is playing in the NFL for a reason. They were the elite of the elite in college, and now they are playing among the elites in professional football.
Absolutely. Well, there's a reason why a team could go 12-4 one year and 4-12 the next year, and a team can go 4-12 and then in the playoffs and be 12-4 the next year. Parity, my friend.
Parity.
Vocabulary.
But I'll tell you, Robert Griffin III, each one of his games is a parody of the last. This guy just continues to be a competitor, continues to impress. Stat line today, 26 of 35 for 323. Also has 7 rushes for 43 yards and a touchdown. Could have been 2 touchdowns if he didn't have that ball stripped away from him at the goal line in the first quarter. Luckily, Pierre Garçon is there to scoop it up, put the Redskins on the board first. But the guy that I was really most impressed with is Alfred Morris. 21 carries, $113, and the score, the 39-yard score. Easily the longest rushing touchdown of his career so far. Does this against the league's top-rated rush defense. Say what you will about them giving up gobs of yards through the air. This was the league's top-ranked rush defense coming in. Alfred Morris, that offensive line, put together a combination for a 100-yard game.
Yeah, they played well and they played great. And what I love and what's got me excited about our future is that, and I got a quick stat for you, Robert Griffin III is the only quarterback born in the 90s to start an NFL game.
That's amazing.
And he's a rookie. Alfred's a rookie, and it's just got me excited about our future. And we got other young backs as well. You know, Evan Royster, who just got put on IR, but he had a great year last year. He'll be back. So it's got me excited about our future.
You've got me feeling old. I mean, he was born in 90, maybe 90.
What are you, 40?
30.
You look like you're 30?
I just turned 30.
You look like you're 50. Is that Rogaine?
Shut up, man.
Is that Rogaine? Why are you sitting on your legs, by the way? Is that to appear taller?
It may be. I'm man enough to admit it, though. It may be. They're asleep, but hey, man, we're equal this week.
No, we're not.
Closer anyway.
My crutches are still taller than you are.
Yeah, whatever, man. I can't win. The Redskins did, though, and it was impressive. But here's another thing. You were just talking about stats about Robert Griffin III and Alfred Morris. Did you know that they are the first rookie teammates to ever have 4 rushing touchdowns each through the first 4 games of the season? First time it's ever been done in NFL history.
That's impressive. Like I said, man, we got a great future, especially rushing the football around here. And obviously Robert can throw, but just with that stat about the touchdowns, I mean that just shows we can run the ball too.
And our Week 1 4th and Pain champion Pierre Garçon on the field for the first time since injuring his foot in New Orleans in Week 1. Again, I just think that even though he only comes away, I believe, with 1 reception on the afternoon, he was targeted a few other times, and it just looked to me that Robert Griffin III was very happy to have him back on the field. Like, Garçon is going to be his go-to guy.
It was like, 40 decades ago, but I was a high school quarterback, and, I always kind of had a guy that I kind of favored or I really liked as a receiver. And I don't know that it's Pierre. I just get the feeling that it's Pierre. That him and Pierre have a real connection. And they trust each other. They kind of know each other, and not having been together very long, that's pretty impressive to see already. And the more they play together, the better it's going to be.
And they showed that during the preseason, they showed that during training camp, and now they're showing it in the regular season. It's carried over, and we're only at the quarter pole of the season, and they only have 2 games together, 2 regular season games together. As they develop throughout the year, I think that it could be scary good, scary good.
Absolutely. Pierre, I hope he is healthy. I hope he stays healthy. And if that happens, the chemistry, that's the word that I could not find earlier, the chemistry that they can develop together is just going to be awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking of injury, scary moment before the game, safety Brandon Merriweather collides with wide receiver Aldrick Robinson. Just a freak occurrence in the end zone during
Did you see the tape?
I did. That
was crazy. I mean, I was just standing there. It's like he's listening to his music and kind of talking to himself, maybe singing, and Merriweather's going to catch the ball and just run, and they didn't see each other whatsoever. And Al didn't move whatsoever. No. And then Merriweather's just rolling on the ground, grabbing his knee. I mean, that's a scary thing and a fluke thing.
Yeah, and I believe that Mike Shanahan said in his post-game press conference they're going to run some more tests on Brandon Merriweather's knee, see what's really going on there. He said that it was, quote-unquote, quite sore. And anytime that happens, it's typically not good. I believe that they said that you were quite sore after your injury as well.
Yeah, I was a little quite sore, so I'm sure he's a little quite sore as well.
So we absolutely wish him the best. I mean, you got to feel for a guy that works hard, was supposed to make his regular season debut today, and then just to have a freak occurrence like that happen. I mean, what are you going to do?
He originally hurt it in the Chicago game in the preseason, right. I remember, and then week 1, our first practice, you always have a couple days off, after the 4th preseason game. They always come back that Monday. And that Monday practice, he was practicing, going to start that first game, and he tweaked it that Monday in practice. And, he's been working to come back and be able to play and start in this game and right before the game. So, I wish the guy the best, and hopefully it is just a little sore.
And last note on the Redskins front, just a tip of the hat to Trent Williams. Has that bone bruise last week and comes in today. And I don't believe that he missed a snap. He was really out there at that left tackle spot the entire game. Did pretty good, obviously. Did very well because Alfred Morris is able to go over that century mark for the first time.
Yeah, he showed a lot of toughness. He showed a lot of maturity. And I think that's what fans around here are looking from him. And I think that's what he showed today, especially that toughness, to be able to play. And from what I understand, he didn't practice a whole lot this week, and be able to go out and perform at that level on Sunday just speaks a lot about him and his abilities.
What more could you ask for at the anchor position on the offensive line? But that wasn't the only game in the NFL. Obviously, tons of other things happening.
Is this a new segment?
We
should introduce it.
What? The Final Drive.
The Final Drive. You forgot the name.
I did.
And you came up with it.
I've got so many words running through my head. The Final Drive on 4th and Pain. Here we go.
2 minutes left in the show. Yeah. We're going to do the final drive, run through the games, and then I will offer my expert analysis.
All right, here we go. Real quickly. 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get them all in. Houston, 38, Tennessee, 14. The Kansas City Chiefs upended by the San Diego Chargers by a score of 37-20. Minnesota over Detroit, 20-13. Atlanta narrowly comes away with the victory, 30-28 over the Panthers. Seattle loses, to the St. Louis Rams, 19-13. Here's your big one. Arizona escapes an upset victory, wins 24-21 in overtime against the Miami Dolphins. Peyton Manning, oh, what a day. 37-6 over the Oakland Raiders. The Denver Broncos, the victors there. Cincinnati, 27. Jacksonville, 10. New Orleans almost pulls the upset in Green Bay. New Orleans 27, Green Bay 28. Up in Buffalo, New England starts slow, comes out a little sluggish in the first half, finishes with a 50-28 victory. And then downstate in New York a little bit, San Francisco all over the Jets, 34-0. Adam, what do you take away?
The games that stick out to me, and I'm saying maybe the Jets should start Tebow. I don't know if you want to start that whole debate between us again. And the Jets didn't fare so well today, and then the Patriots. Here's what I take away: the Jets are a mess. The Patriots are back in first, and as far as I'm concerned, all is normal again in the AFC East. The other games that stick out to me, obviously, is Atlanta, because that's who we're playing next. I think they went like 97, 98 yards with about a minute to go to get that field goal. Right. The team's undefeated. They're rolling. Honestly, it's going to be a great competition. It's going to be a great showcase for our team to show what they can do, because I believe we can come out and beat them. That's going to surprise people, but I honestly believe we can beat them. And then my last thing, which is going to set up our Peyton polls tomorrow, is the fact that the Broncos are rolling. Peyton's playing so well, and my lovely wife will elaborate on that a little bit more tomorrow on the weekly Peyton polls on Tuesday.
I look forward to that. And this is 4th and Pain. I will say real quick before we wrap up the segment, so much more important to go up against a team like Atlanta 2-2 as opposed to 1-3. You have that momentum. It's going to help lift the spirits. Hopefully some of that can carry over into that tough matchup.
Well, the last thing I want to point out, everyone's going to be like, oh, they're undefeated, blah, 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 blah. We don't have a chance. But the thing is, look at what Arizona, and look what Miami did to Arizona. And that's what I'm saying. People don't think Miami's very good. People are saying someday Arizona might be the best team in the NFC, But here's what I take away. Because they gave them the heck of a game overtime. Any team can beat anybody, and I firmly believe that we can beat the Falcons.
All right. Well, we'll see next Sunday. But for right now, we're going to hit pause. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about wrestling. This is 4th and Pain.